Oh, they did they? Well, buckety diddly fuck dick. But what's going on, guys and gals? My name is Neko Fluttershy. Welcome to a video. So, I think I've heard a lot of things about this. I don't know how new exactly it is, but to me it's more of a newer concept, and that is AI art. Now, what is AI art? Well, basically, it's AI, artificial intelligence, generated art. Now, my thoughts on the whole thing, it sounds awesome. I mean, it kind of is, but it kind of isn't at the same time. Now, my overall thoughts on it, if we break down, a little spoiler ahead, I don't really think it's that good. I don't really think that it's all that worthy of praise. I mean, it's cool in concept, but, you know, blah. So, essentially, a lot of things I've heard about this whole, AI sort of thing is that basically they will take art as, from other people as reference. So it's like, oh yeah, well, here is the kind of artwork that we want you to do with this particular image. So what the AI does, what the image is supposed to be, it's supposed to be its own thing as a reference of a bunch of other things. Which, okay, first off, that's kind of a bad idea, because I get it, you have to have some sort of reference. Otherwise, it just goes in a blind direction and it has no idea what the fuck you're talking about or what you're doing to it. And it's more of a learning opportunity for the program. But at what cost? And another thing is, in some of the artworks that I've seen, they are literal, actual carbon copies. They are the exact same thing. No joke, the exact same image as the ones that were basically being used as reference material. So I'm like, okay, what the fuck is the point then? If you're going to use the exact same image, like, it's going to come out the exact same way, and it even had like the watermark or whatever from the person that created the art before. Like, it's a pain in the ass, the whole thing. And on top of that, essentially technology as a whole. I've already, I guess, kind of bitched about, I think, on this channel. I bitch about so many things. I rant about so many things. I don't even know what I've done rants on and what I haven't at this point. But it's kind of this way across all forms of technology. Technology itself is a double-edged sword. Yes, it's awesome, it's amazing, and it can help us do so many things, and it makes our lives a lot easier. That's great, and, with this AI art, it's no exception. Why would you want to waste hours of your time drawing something on a piece of paper or on a tablet or in paint programs on your computer or smartphone or something, when you could do it in a fucking flash, in a fucking instant? We're talking seconds, and a complete image is brought out. That's cool, right? but it's not at the same time. Because with all sorts of technology, like the self-checkout machines you always see at Walmart and all these other places, like, they're stealing jobs away from people. You know, they're basically stealing jobs from people who, need them. Walmart and other, places have the whole self-checkout thing. Which, self-checkout, it's, again, a good idea in concept, but in execution, it sucks. Everything about it is absolute garbage. And, AI artwork is the exact same thing. Good in concept, but that's it. Only in concept. Everything else about it just sucks ass. You're basically stealing art when you're using it as material to essentially tell the AI, hey, this is what is an idea. And I get that's how you learn, but there's gotta be some other way. So basically, I've been seeing on DeviantArt a lot of things about how people, and I understand exactly how they feel, because these people, they need this sort of thing, to make money. They need this as their job. 'Cause some people, they use commissions and, things like that to make a living off of just in general. And to see something like that happen, where all that's going down the drain solely because of AI artwork, it's sad. It's very sad. It sucks that even our own hobbies, which, yeah, it's still a job for some people, not me, because I don't fucking know how to draw. I can't do art to save my life. Unless it's like taking photography of like trees and things like that, like sunsets and whatnot. I'm good at doing that. I'm not good at painting pictures and doing things like that. I can't even draw a fucking stick figure. So something like me, if I were to get into the whole the whole AI artwork sort of thing, that might be a good reason. For someone that wants to consider artwork, like consider doing artwork and things like that for somewhat of a living, or in general, who wants to kind of see the ins and outs of it, I mean, it's a decent idea, I suppose. But like I said, just because something's a good idea in concept doesn't make it an actual good idea when it's actually executed. Because you see all these people on DeviantArt, I think I've seen some on Fur Affinity and some other websites dedicated to the whole thing. I might have seen something on Rule 34. I mean, I go on porn quite a bit. Hell, DeviantArt, Fur Affinity, and Rule 34 are my two places for porn, or my two three places for porn when it comes to images. But the thing about it is, I see on a lot of these websites the exact same thing. A bunch of people are like, yes, down with the whole AI artwork thing. And, I mean, while I agree, I also disagree at the same time. Like I said, it's a double-edged sword. Because it can be, a good learning tool. To kind of learn, oh, okay, here's how images work, here's how this and that happens, and for some people like me who don't know a damn thing about, like, drawing and can't do that all that well, that'd be great. And there's a bunch of different kinds of things to do. You want to basically AI generated anime art? There you go. AI generated version of yourself? There you go. AI generated version of, I don't know, fucking video game box art? They probably have one for that. So really, that's one good thing about it, is that there's so much options, you don't have to pick just one. And you could just type in what you want. You don't really have to use the whole, images thing where you take images as reference and feed it into the machine. Because in some cases, like I said, doing that will result in the exact same fucking image, because this technology is still pretty new, I'd say. I mean, this sort of technology has probably been out for decades, but I mean in this form, like AI artwork. And, I personally think that it's good for one or two different things, but for everything else, and I think its intended purpose, it sucks ass. In the same way that, like I said, with self-checkouts, is that, they're a good idea and concept, but it goes down to shit. And some people are like, oh yeah, well, it's not just because of the whole, AI thing. It's because of the users, the people that use this thing. They're the problem. Well, sometimes. Not the whole self-checkout thing. Yes, it is a people problem. But really, self-checkout shouldn't have been a thing to begin with. And I'm going to kind of say the same thing here with the AI artwork here. Because, I, for one, love the idea of supporting my fellow creator on DeviantArt or Patreon or something like that. I don't have any money, but I'm saying if I ever did, I would not mind, spending a few bucks to help out, certain people that I like and I follow on these websites like, DeviantArt and things like that, who do a lot of, commissions and things like that. And I think that's a lot more important and a lot better than the whole, AI art thing. So I agree with a bunch of people when they say, down with, AI art, down with AI generated art. And honestly, the things that I've tried that recently. I tried to do the whole AI art thing. I downloaded an app to my phone at one point, and I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago or something like that, recently. And I typed in what I wanted. It did not give me at all what I wanted. It gave me like one thing, one or two things out of like a 5 or 10 thing checklist that I wanted in that particular image. And No. So honestly, it's also broken as well, and that I don't want to have to fucking use someone else's artwork, which I don't do anyway, but I don't want to have to do that just to get the results that I want. All because AI apparently wants to take over. Now, we're kind of starting to see a little bit of the whole everything is technology sort of thing. You know, our whole god damn. Yeah. But the whole everything is technology sort of thing, you know, technology is everywhere. Everywhere you go, there's technology, and that it's trying to make things easier, but it's also trying to steal people's jobs. And that's what it's going to lead to if we keep this shit going. And like I said, I hate seeing a bunch of people out of jobs because I'm out of a job. I had a job, which, yeah, it wasn't related to anything like this, but still, I know what it's like to not have work, to not have a job, and it sucks ass. And you know it takes forever to find something. Months, years, decades even. You know, just to find one simple job. And people are like, oh, well, why are you out of the workforce? You're like, why have you been out for so long? 'Cause I don't know. Because people weren't hiring me. And I've been putting in applications for almost a fucking year and I haven't gotten anywhere. So I know what it's like. So I say, before any of that could happen, you know, always support your artists. Always support the people on DeviantArt and Patreon and things like that. Always support those kinds of people who don't use that. And I know there are some people out there that do use that solely because, you know, they want to do art as a passion and as a living, but they suck at it normally. Like, they suck at drawing, or they can't do this or do that. But at the same time, you know, and I also know what it's like to put hours into something and have it not do well. There have been like a video or two of mine that I've done here on YouTube that's like, yeah, I put hours into this video between the editing and whatever, and it doesn't get the views that I want. So it's like, why did I bother even, you know, trying to edit in the first place? So I know what that's like as well. So really, using something to the effect of 15, well, not 15, not AI, AI artwork, it's a pain in the ass. So anyways, guys and gals, yeah, those are all just my thoughts on the whole AI artwork thing. I think it needs to die and be forgotten, because I can only see it going to ruin everything. You know, the most destructive things are bred in good intentions. And while it may have been a good intention to have things like self-checkouts and, you know, AI artwork and things like that to make people's lives easier, it's only going to be more destructive as time goes on. More and more destructive, more and more people losing jobs, more and more people quitting what they're doing, quitting their passion projects and quitting their lives that they have been doing for so goddamn long, solely because of all this. Because AI is taking over, and technology is taking over, and things like that. And it's a bitch. It's horrible. And I really think that they needed to think this through before rushing it out And that's also, I think, what it was, being rushed out before actually thinking. It's like Jeff Goldblum, I think it was, in one of the Jurassic Park movies. They were in such a hurry to actually do it, they didn't stop to think whether they should have done it, or something like that. And it's kind of true. You know, they didn't stop to think, hey, maybe we shouldn't be doing this because this will put people out of jobs. This will ruin yet another art form. This will ruin this and that. This will ruin a bunch of things. You know, and while I do love looking at AI artwork from time to time, nothing beats the original. Nothing beats watching someone draw something by hand, or take a photograph, you know, take a picture on their phone or camera of the sky, or of a tree that they found in their backyard, or something like that. Nothing beats that. You know, you can fucking AI artwork all day long, but at the end of the day, watching someone take a picture with actual photography, or draw something on an art tablet, or on a piece of paper, or something like that. Hours and hours, taking the time to do it. That is where it's at. You don't need this AI shit. And thus concludes the video. So, yeah. What do you guys and gals think about the whole AI artwork thing? I'd like to know. But anyways, I shall see you all in the next video. Peace out, people, and Brohoof. Boom! Oh. Haha! Yay!